Hi guys, welcome back. This is Matt from TechKnowHow, and I wanted to do another video here on VMware and virtual machines. Today I'm going to be showing you Windows Server 2012 R2. I just wanted to dip a little bit into the server side and show you guys some stuff. There's really no topic on this one. This one's just going to be kind of off topic and show you a configured server that I have for a test environment. Once again, I'm using VMware Workstation 8 and Windows Server 2012 R2. It's currently loading up right now, so we'll just give it a few minutes here. Alright, it looks like the virtual machine came up. Control Insert. By the way, with domain environment computers, Windows computers specifically, to log in, you always have to hit Control-Alt-Delete on the physical computer. If you're sitting at a physical computer trying to remote in or unlock a remoted in computer, it'd be Control-Alt-End. With VMware, to get to your login screen from that first initial screen, it would be Control-Alt-Insert, because you're inserting that Control-Delete command. So I hit Control-Insert, and here it is. See if I remember my password for this one. Oh, my password has expired, so I have to change it. I do that in my environment. I find it to be secure to have the passwords expire every 60 days and to force a change on a new one that's usually forced down by group policy. Alright, so the desktop is starting to load up here, and one thing you will notice is it's auto going to start Server Manager. Server Manager is a pretty nifty place, centralized location to manage all the different services and features that are running on your server in your enterprise environment. So as you can see, you have the dashboard, local server, all servers. So once you get the permission set up, and you can create groups of servers and manage different groups of servers within this dashboard, it actually becomes very handy to manage a large number of servers right from one server manager. It's actually very nifty, and this may take a little while to load. I do not have very much RAM thrown at this, as it's just on my desktop virtual machine and not in my server virtual environment. But as you can see, it started to load up. We have more available to us. ADDS, that's Active Directory Domain Services. DNS, Domain Name Systems. File and Storage Services. So let's take a look quick at Active Directory Domain Services. And I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with what this is. This is pretty much a centralized location or repository or schema that uses to store user accounts, groups, access, authorization, large scales of stuff. This is very scalability. Computer accounts, user accounts, service accounts, lots you can do with it. I want to keep it kind of broad for this video. I can always go in much more depth into Active Directory and forest and domains and how they relate, and cross-domain functionality and forest and domain functional levels and everything like that. But that's another time for another video. Today is just going to be a kind of high level. So let's actually go ahead and make this full screen so you can see the full thing. And if you look, 2012 R2 is going to look a lot like Windows 8.1. You have your start menu, takes you right to a start page. If you want to look for something, on this page you can actually just start typing. Like I'm going to look for PowerShell ISE, for instance. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but PowerShell ISE is a very good tool to use if you're scripting with PowerShell, learning PowerShell, because it can actually help you find and discover commands. You can do the help, out grid, and different things like that. I just wanted to kind of off topic really quick before we get into Active Directory. So this is kind of what it looks like. Body, where you put the PowerShell, where you can run the commands. A little sidebar can pop up and it'll show you different things. So let's go ahead and minimize that. Alright, so Active Directory Domain Services. First off, I'm going to go ahead and go in Active Directory Domains and Trusts. Alright, in here you can see that my Active Directory name or fully qualified domain name is going to be lab2.local. If you expand that out, click on that. So you can actually go right here. This is where I was talking about the domain functional level. Here you can actually manage that or raise it. If you come into properties, trust, this is the window where you can create different trusts between different domains if you don't want to set up automatically. Alright, go ahead and go into sites and services. This is where you would set up the actual topology of your different domains or domain controllers too. Say you have different branch offices or different offices scattered throughout the United States, say New York, Milwaukee, Chicago, Orlando. You would see the different sites within here, and you'd want to configure those and create your site links to make sure that replication is happening in its fastest path, most efficient path, and go from there. So you can see I haven't really done anything in here. I haven't set up any subnets for different sites or anything like that. So by default, the first one is named default first site name. If you expand that out, it lists the server. There's only one server in here, the NTDDS settings, and that's where you would see if there was more than one domain controller, where you could see the replication and where you could force replicate it, but you can also force replicate that from PowerShell as well, and we'll go over that in a later video. Alright, Active Directory users and computers. Here is where a lot of the administration happens, say for system access management teams, server teams managing groups and things like that, computers. You would see in here, see, here's one of the virtual computers I have, Windows 8. That's my naming scheme. I always do the Windows, the version, and -VPC. Once I start getting more, it'll be 01, 02, and so on and so forth. You can see the domain controllers. These are called organizational units, or OU for short. Here's the default users one. You go in here and it's got default ones. You can see I have a bunch in here that I've been testing and creating with PowerShell scripts, but I created an organizational unit called corp users. If you go into there, you can see all the different ones that I've tested with, and then I created OU called groups. Groups is what I'm going to be managing permissions with. So if you actually look at r-it admins, we can add member of, say, admins, and hit enter. That's administrators or enterprise. We got enterprise admins, and then maybe we can do schema. Just click OK and add. So that's how you add member, and then you can add a member in here. Say, I think I might have one by that. Yep, there we go. And see, it resolved the name, so I can add a member of that. Now that's a member of that, and it's getting permissions from there. So, and that's kind of just the basic rundown. If you have more than one domain, you would be able to do change domain. You can do find and search within your Active Directory here, and you can change the scope of what you're searching, things like that. And that's pretty much a very quick top-level rundown of Active Directory. Now, you have DNS, file services. So Windows Server, you can do a lot with. You can do IIS servers and things like that. So actually open up Server Manager again for you guys. So this is where you go to add roles and features. So I'm actually going to go ahead and, once it's done loading here, go ahead and click Add Roles and Features. So this is where you would go to add like Active Directory domain services and things like that. You'd want to keep it role-based or feature-based installation. And then select from a server from the server pool. I leave it set to default unless you know exactly which one you want to pull it from. And then here it gives you a list. So now you could like select DHCP server, application server. If you highlight it, it's going to tell you what that does. Like Hyper-V. You know, this is for a virtualization platform. Remote access, this is for like VPN, web application proxy, HTTP and HTTPS based applications on your corporate network. And then remote desktop services, almost like terminal services. Web IIS services for your web applications and websites. Windows deployment services to deploy servers or desktop operating systems, and then Windows Server Update service to update your machines. So there's a lot to choose from, a lot to learn. Once again, this is high level. If you guys need more in depth on any topic I covered in this video, just place comments below. If you have any questions, place those below. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.